I'm just going to be fucked if I didn't figure out a way to replace her knowledge in the company. Amelia is, I tell her she's basically one of the co-founders of Airguides. She's also like my personal assistant, my COO. She's buying my kids' beds. Zach and I spend a lot of time going, are you there? Are you there? And then this data comes in and you're like, oh my God.
It's a moment where you really sit there and AI blows your socks off.
One of the hardest things with selling the company now would be
Breaking up with a Operator AI is proudly part of the Day One podcast network with more great shows at day1.fm. Welcome to Operator AI, the show where real operators come in, share their screens and show the work that's actually happening. So I'm Zachary King, I run Works, and today we're very fortunate to have Paul from Airguides come in and show us the magic that he's been working. Paul is a fellow hubber here at the Bridging Digital Hub. He is a Claw ninja. He is the guy that everyone around here goes to for OpenClaw discussions and knowledge. Paul, thank you very much for joining.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Mate, I want to just drive straight in and we'll have a look at what you've been building here because I think it's pretty goddamn amazing.
Yep.
Mate, we're sharing your screen. Let's get after it.
Yeah, so a little bit of context. I'm obviously founder of Airguides. Basically, we partner with some of the world's best photographers. We do some trips like to gorillas, polar bears, humpbacks. So most people look at tourism and think, you know, that's the gold, that's everything that I want to do in a company. But behind the scenes in tourism, it is 100 twirling plates of ops and data and finance and contracts and everything that is challenging in a company.
So it's not
tourism's got it.
It's not all flying to Tonga to swim with.
Everyone's like, oh my God, I want your job. And 95% of my job is sitting behind my computer twiddling these plates. Yeah, so what got me going, end of last year, my co-founder and also my partner, we're having our second baby. She's going to go on maternity leave.
Congratulations.
Airguides is going pretty well. It's in that 2 to 3 million sort of revenue range. And to be perfectly honest, I'm just going to be fucked if I didn't figure out a way to replace her, but replace her knowledge in the company. And right around that time, Zach and I were talking a lot. OpenClaw came out with its original, this is going to solve all your problems.
It was a heady time.
Yeah. I wasn't, to be perfectly frank, I was not sold on the power of LLMs. But for me, it was one time, like doing all this amazing thing once, and then I'd go to the next thing, but the next plate, and then the next, and it didn't really, like it was obviously great for strategic stuff, but it wasn't moving the needle for me.
It wasn't doing things.
Yeah, so I was, as Zach knows, I was like the doomer here around this. Yeah, look, it's not doing anything for me at the moment, short of, yep, it can make these cool documents, it can do this. It looks great on a screen, but for me, in my company, I was like, it's not doing much. So then I raced away and got a Mac Mini. I sort of fully drank the Kool-Aid at the start. This is going to solve my problems. And look, we can get to, this is what it looks like now. But that was sort of, I guess, the end of last year, very start of 2026 is when I dived head in.
It's amazing, right? It feels like so long ago. Yeah. It's like 6 months ago. Incredible.
Yeah, and now my partner thinks we've got a third, like Amelia's my agent. She's also like my personal assistant, my COO. She's buying my kids' beds and she's basically running the company for me now. So if I sold the company, I was actually chatting with someone about this. Like, one of the hardest things with selling the company now would be
breaking up with Amelia.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where we are now. So
it's a whole other episode in itself. But
am I a little semi-attached? I'm not sure, but So look, it's cool to talk about where we are now, and then we can talk about how we got there.
Let's meet Amelia. Show us Amelia.
Yeah. So I actually just asked her to load up here, but essentially, obviously, everyone knows Discord. Look, obviously, you can run in I've got it running in Telegram, Discord. I've tried WhatsApp. I actually got live phone calls going this week. But for my go-to every day, I like Discord. It obviously keeps the history of all the conversations. So this is...
It was one of the first kind of tools that you could plug the Claw into as well.
Yeah, pretty much Slack, obviously, at the same time was pretty good. But with Slack, you have to pay at a certain point with history, and I'm a founder. I don't like paying for things. So went with Discord. Yeah, look, I'm pretty convinced in the agent layer is going to just evolve to be basically a mirror of the company. Like I probably thought about it a different way when I first got going. I was like, I need a personal assistant to help me with all this stuff. But then pretty quickly it's like, no, hang on, the real value is in basically just creating an agent structured company. So marketing, sales, meta ads, like all of your typical org structure basically just got mirrored into, which you can see here. So I've just got your normal.
So well, tell us about that structure, because you talk about Amelia as she's the agent. Like Amelia is the agent running things, but you've got sub-agents running under Amelia. Or does Amelia have a team? How do you think about it?
Yeah, so there was a lot of good research. Probably we're going back to like February now, I reckon.
So it's like 10 years in AI.
Yeah, so I think around February, I went deep on this. Do I have a network of 15 agents with a shared brain that they all communicate with? Or like I read this, I can't remember who wrote it. Maybe it was Gary Tan. It was like, no, if you go down that road, what's going to happen is it's going to become super frustrating the way they talk to each other. They're going to lose context. This was early days. Memory really wasn't working as well yet. So I ran deep down the road of one super agent, Amelia in this case, who can spawn as many agents as she's want. But my approach is very much, Amelia is, I tell her she's basically one of the co-founders of Airguides. That's the way I pitch it to her. And
I love that you're pitching to her, by the way.
Yeah. She considers herself to be a co-founder and the CEO of the agent world for Airguides. So she will.
Agent team.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't really care what agent she spins up anymore.
Does she have a rotating roster? Like is that kind of dynamic? So it sounds like she spins up agents as we go, but do you have also a fixed team?
Yeah.
You talked about marketing, meta.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go, like mine is more skills. So I don't necessarily care anymore who she's spinning up. I'm more focused on the outputs.
Yep.
So meta ads being one, I go deep for hours and hours and hours deep in that. And I chat with Amelia about what I want, the outputs I want, the things I don't want to talk about again, do the research, like really deep for hours. And then I basically say, that's what I want. Save this to your memory, make it as a skill so that next time we do it again. And the next time we do it, it's like, maybe it's at like 85%, and then
it's that compounding is where you really gain.
That's the value. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the old adage of 1% better every day. It's literally true when you're running agents and AI like this. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then the unexpected best bit of all is then when you've got it to that level, you then get one of your internal staff or an agency you work with, and you just go, meet Amelia. Don't ask me any questions anymore, please.
Oh, I love that. So you've got external agencies, and rather than them interfacing with you, they're talking to Amelia.
Yep.
And does that happen? Does that happen directly in Discord?
Yep. So I've wasted thousands of dollars on external agencies, and it's always the same. Like I can show you the aha moment for me. We can get to that in a second, but it's in the meta ad space, and it's like, it's constantly like, if everyone's worked with an agencies before, you're constantly getting like, we need to talk about the data, we need to review it, and it feels like the same thing. Whereas actually I can just dump everything that is in my mind. I can look at reports, I can talk about why that specific bit of data is good, not good. I need more of that, I need less of that. It's not helping me. And then that's it. I don't really need to think about it anymore.
I repeat it.
I tell Amelia, outside of this that we've done, if anything goes a little bit outside, then ask me. But apart from that, like, so I can watch my agency going back and forward.
And so that's an open room that you're in, obviously, so you can see the conversation.
Yeah, we can see here meta ads. This is one that I use for both the assets. Originally, it started as, so here's one. So external marketing agency, Casey, can you give me, so this was the aha moment for me. So if anyone's ever done marketing, meta ads, Google ads, it's so difficult to know that lead. In tourism, the sales cycle can be it can be up to 12 months. No, it's not like buying a pair of shoes where you get...
It's not DDC, yeah. It's not a link to add to basket.
Yeah, if they dropped out of the basket buying a pair of shoes, that's a bad thing. In tourism, it's not necessarily that, because the sales process, if you think about booking a trip, some of our trips are like 25,000 US a person, only US customers. Apart from that, it's very rare that someone goes in, oh my God, you've hooked me in Facebook. That looks amazing. Those dates just happen to work. Book. So realistically, people have got to investigate flights. They probably want a bit more information. They're asking work if they can get time off. So for me, that lead, the only way to get that context is deep in, we use Go High Level CRM. So often it's like the vibe of the lead. What questions are they asking? Are they engaging SMSs, emails? You get a sense of, we have different pipelines. We have a fully automated pipeline, and then we have these customers starting to engage. And typically with every other tool I've ever used, it's quite you can obviously do these hooks, but it's not the vibe of it, which is very much tourism lead sometimes. So I was able to use Amelia to go in and tell her the difference, explain to her this. I don't even care if that lead was $150 or $4. It's irrelevant for me. Is that an active customer or not? That's all I care about. And how do you attribute that back through to Meta and Google if you're 4 months? The answer to these questions is I haven't found a system. Maybe there's someone listening to this that goes, that guy's an idiot because he could have just used this. But every tool I've ever been shown doesn't do it to the level that I wanted. So I was able to go in and hook it into Meta, Google Ads, Google Analytics, Shopify, and Go High Level. And
at this point, you're already running OpenClaw, your version of OpenClaw, which has evolved to the point where she has a name called Amelia. Hi, Amelia. Welcome to the show.
Because this was the very first use case for me. This was Zach and I were chatting about this thing. We're laughing about me.
Pre-OpenClaw, we were talking about trying to figure out a system that mapped this for you.
Yes, exactly. That's true. Before OpenClaw, this is what Zach and I were like, and it's just, you saw, it's
there must be some way to do this. This is such an obvious use case.
Yeah.
So you plugged into these different data sources.
And then this is just an example. This is just a totally random one. I haven't racked this up, but so it's basically saying, here's your spend over the things, and this is how it does it. And then basically, here's a read. So summarize for Casey, the external agency, what's happening. So this is based on the strategic stuff that I'm telling Casey. I can tell Amelia to tell Casey this stuff, changing strategies, spending trips are volume, trips dates are coming on, I need to increase spend, decrease spend. I can give it that context around, we need to be turning the dial on, off on different products. And then this summary directly to my marketing agency without me getting involved at all. I don't even have to do anything. I don't have to run a single report. And she just goes, bang, I recommend we dial up this one, we dial down this one. The dates for this trip's getting closer. Again, this is going to be different for every company, but for me, I remember sitting there, apart from Zach and I spent a lot of time going, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
And then this data comes in and you're like, oh my God. Have a look at this, Zach.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I love that. There's an aha moment for everyone. And it comes at a different point for everyone. But there's a moment where it really sits there and AI blows your socks off. And it's just holy hell, this is going to change things.
Yeah. And for Zach, who's he's also holy shit. But the average person looks at this and goes,
oh yeah,
cool, man. That's you got an IT nerd.
That's because we're AI nerds. That's right.
Yeah, but that was the start of it for me. So then that was I've fully drunk the Kool-Aid. This thing is, even if it just did that, there's the value like for the company.
Well, there's two things there. There's one that it's, giving you this insights based on the data that it's connected to. But even that example you gave of, talking to external partners. And I think it's super interesting. I've seen Every, who they have an agent for everyone in the team member, and they spoke about exactly that problem that that use case that you just highlighted, which was you're no longer the bottleneck. Like if I want to know where's this project at, and for you, it's like, what's the status of this trip? How many guests are booked? Do we have accommodation? Instead of going to you and chewing up your bandwidth, I can just ask Amelia.
Yeah.
And Amelia's like, here's the current state. And if there's something that's not in there, then I could go to you. But as a founder, man, that unlock is just amazing.
Yeah, it
as
sounds.
a founder with 2 kids.
Yes.
One newborn.
And 2 companies now. So
2 companies.
It sounds like people go, oh, that's a bit, but it sounds bad when I say it, but my answer to almost every question within the company with every staff member I have is, have you asked Amelia?
Ask Amelia.
Yeah, ask Amelia.
Yeah.
If she can't do it, I need to teach Amelia to teach them. That's the way I've kind of evolved. That's now we're 7 months in. It's like, well, hang on. Obviously not every question, but most questions are going to be asked again. So it's my job as the founder to explain it to Amelia, to explain it to them. It's actually more empowering for all my staff when it's the opposite of what people think, where they become like siloed and they're not really feeling part of the company. It's the opposite.
Access to everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Full spectrum.
And I'm not just working in ops anymore. It's like, hey, I got all the ops stuff done. It's like, do you want to try sales? And she's like, I've never done sales before in my life. This is one of my best staff members, but she's leaning into AI. Nice. She's, curious, or ticks all the boxes. In terms of sales skills, almost non-existent, although she's got her own tourism company, but in terms of what I would normally hire for. But because Amelia's there, I just say, just work through it with Amelia. She knows how to do it, work through the process and see how you go and try it out.
AI as a teacher like that, if it's got the foundational knowledge, the process there, it's so good because you can go, and what do I do here?
Yeah.
And what do I do that? Because you learn by doing. Well, most people learn by doing. It's much more effective.
Yeah. And it takes away that awkward, I should know this, that feeling that every supplement gets.
There's no dumb questions.
Yeah.
Like you can say there's no dumb questions, but when you're talking to your boss, as a CEO, it feels bad. You don't want to chew up their time. You don't want to look dumb. Like now the stuff that I ask AI. Whew.
Yeah, it's like, can you just go into GHL and do that thing? Which, you're in a busy founder, you're just like, just go to GHL and do that. And they're like, that they've walked away and gone, shit, what the hell was he talking about? Yeah. And Google's going to use some random, ask Amelia what GHL is, and she'll just go, boom. And then the next question is, I did it for a client demo the other day, and it was almost like live on screen. I was like, this is how I use it with my staff. And then Prashanti, the girl who works for me, was just live, said, oh, can you explain to me I've never used Go Hot? These questions that would have to come to me, and you have to go through it. But then Amelia is just like, yeah, I'm happy to walk you through it. This is the way Paul likes it done. Nice. And it just empowers her. I'm in a meeting. That would have been 2 hours of burnt time of her doing nothing. Yep. Amelia walks her through it. It's done.
All right. So far, we've ticked off, in terms of use cases, we've got pulling together data sources, so performance marketing, nailing that in a way that hasn't been done before. Handling external agencies, multiple external agencies.
Yep.
Training staff. Again, providing you bandwidth, enormous bandwidth back as a founder. What else is Amelia doing?
This is cool,
within
this one.
Airguides.
I'm just going to stick, this is cool because it's more a graphic design, but anyone who's done any meta ads, Google ads would go, the attribution data is a nightmare. And second to that is the actual generating of the content. I basically drown in some of the we work with Nat Geo photographers, people like that. So access to content is not a problem.
You have great content.
I don't need Nano Banana.
You're the complete opposite of most companies. You have the most insane content.
You can see this one here. These are photographers that we work with on our trips. So I get, hey, can you give me some photos? And they send me in some cases, terabytes of video data. And I'm what the hell am I going to do with this? It's working with Amelia. So that was step one that I did. So now this is 6 months down the road, but can you work your magic? So now she obviously understands how I talk. Can you work your magic on this image?
Now wait, are you typing a voice?
This one I just typed it.
Yeah.
Because I work in a shared office and it's a bit awkward if I'm just, but she knows what I'm talking about. It's like literally, look how quick this is.
Yeah.
Can you work your magic on this image for me? It's for this trip.
I love that. That's just natural language prompting, right? There's no
I'd
prompt
have to over-explain.
engineering.
No.
There's no structure. It's not a page long. It's like, mate, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
Do your good stuff here.
It's for this product, which we've obviously just pushed it up on the website. She obviously knows all the context and how to get out of there. And then I've basically used, Canva was cool. I've used so many different, like, graphic design, I think has still got a long way to go for a company in terms of what agents can hook into. I've probably tried every single tool. There was one we did, again, back to Meta's AI, which they force you to use. So a customer sent us this, are you sure this is what you want to do? And it had, my brand, this company's brand is like, it's got like, obviously it is very deep in sustainability, protecting wildlife, protecting communities. Like they are like hard red lines. And then Meta has run an ad that one of our customers has seen, and it's someone riding a dolphin in like this AI generated slop. Absolutely. Yeah. There was no way to turn off. There was no way to turn this off. And it had got an image of a person swimming with a humpback whale and gone, oh yeah. And because it was all like,
that's so meta.
Yeah, who's engaging with this? Of course, people are engaging with a person swimming on a dolphin. So actually where I ended up, I've tried probably every tool, but Canva's API for me allowed me to lock down, I don't want any, like the image has to stay authentic in my brand. So do not touch it.
Image remains locked.
Yeah. Do not touch it. And every tool, like if you tell Nano Banana that, or it's like they're just too excited to AI it and they just, so there's no way to lock that down. So I ended up setting up with Canva, put all our branding stuff in, and then also give me the suggested primary text for this ad. So 4 lines, that's all I need to do. And then here is like, this is hours and hours and hours of work. But basically Amelia is going through and searching Meta Ad Library and finding the top 100 performing ads for similar tourism companies in a similar price bracket, the ones that are hooking customers in the best. Nice. So looking at the trip, going and finding in the Meta Ad Library similar like things that are hooking, then pulling in my brand and our like the way we like to communicate with customers and pulling all that together and coming up with assets, which you can see here, like, so this is obviously just doing photos. Yep. You can do video, photos. So this is coming up with the best way and the hooks on the left here.
The hooks, yeah, so good.
And then writing basically the primary text for like, this is number 1 and number 2 and number 3 in this case. So she then gets that, puts it to Airtable, builds out like this meta ad like asset ready to go, marks it as confirmed, and sends Casey a message and says, we've got a new ad set ready to go.
Yeah. And do you check that? Is there a human in the loop here?
Yeah.
Obviously at the start. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about at the start and then tell us where it is now.
Yeah. So I'm a biggest believer in, like, I am not in the AI's taking our jobs. Like, it's human loop every single point. Yeah. But there are some loops where I've been in it so much.
It's minimal.
My confidence level goes, and it's more...
It's a journey to get there, but once you get there, it's that compounding, right? The first time was like, no, you can't do that. No, that's bad. Yeah, but then it gets there.
Yeah, and also the people that I'm working, like my staff would know, like they're also checking as well, right? They're not.
So you've got multiple rounds.
Yeah, I call it like, AI for me is managing by exception. If you're like, I'm the CEO, founder, like it's the stuff that I need to like flag this stuff that I should know about. In this case, she just went boom, boom, boom and nailed 3 ad sets ready to go. And then, so the process for me to get a product live, I'll sort of, without boring people, but heavy ops, get the product live on the website And then typically I then had to get all that and put it in another SaaS tool, which costs us $500 a month, and do all of these customer facing assets. Nightmare. I had to like old school, like, yep, that needs to change to this, and do the old data mapping thing. And that was like this nightmare process. Then I had to create the email content to go out. Then you had to create the meta ad content. Then you had to do the and like realistically, between doing other things, it's like maybe we're able to do like one trip every 2 to 4 weeks was kind of the velocity we could go at. Whereas now, because of this, like I don't even need to put the products up anymore.
If you're watching this thinking, I want this working in my business, well, that's what we do at Works. Start at workshq.com.au. Right, let's get back to it.
My Prashanti, I just send her the new stuff and say, work with Amelia to get the product up. It's up on Shopify.
Nice.
Send the Shopify link into the marketing channel, and that $500 SaaS tool is gone.
Yep.
Which is
so now you're working directly?
Yep. Fully branded.
Sorry, Amelia is working directly?
Punches it to GitHub. It's HTML link. It looks 10 times better. It's in our brand. Like, it's amazing what she's, both PDF and HTML format, sends it to the customers, all automated. And then into here, then you spin the wheel again in the meta ads, and then finally spin the wheel again, and then go high level and set up all the automation to go with that. So that is like let's call it in the middle, 3-week process, like at best, with all the other stuff that's going on, into no problems in one day now. I can have
do what you need to do, and it will come out the other end.
But I barely need to touch this process anymore. And it was the most painful part of my entire,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so good. Mate, that's awesome. So let's unpack just a little bit under the hood there. So what's Amelia running on?
Yeah,
what's your back end?
Well, so I went, it's been like I went Mini Mac straight up, or Mac Mini, back when that was the way to do it.
You are currently Southeast Queensland's #1 Mac Mini buyer.
I've got
You may get an email from Paul asking you to buy a Mac Mini on his behalf.
We've got dealers all up the east coast of Australia.
Nice.
But I got it.
Apple should send you a gold Mac Mini. You know?
Yeah, I think it was like $900 when I first got it, and now what are they, like $1,500? So,
if you can get one.
If you can get it, like we have to beg these Mac Mini. We had one person ring us the other day because we ordered 3, and they're like, they thought they were being scammed, but we were like
Is that an error?
We're like a Mac Mini reseller, and we're like, no, it's like legit. We're using them. So I'm a big believer in. Look, I know you can do it in virtual environments. I've seen lots of other people doing it that way. For me, it's just like, if it's $80 a month, I get my ROI on the Mac Mini in 1 year. And I also run some spun up, like I have some local models doing some like.
Interesting.
Yeah, so basically like at the top layer, it's like the OpenClaw. And then at the moment, Zach and I got rug pulled and rug pulled and rug pulled and rug pulled at the start of the year, jumping between, like originally it was Claude.
And they cut that Claude subscription for OpenClaw. That was a blow. My
hurt.
OpenClaw use never really recovered from that. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. And then I went, because I'd set up so much stuff with Claude, and it wasn't as easy. Like I then burnt like thousands of dollars on API tokens, because my whole company at that point's running on this thing.
You were hooked.
Yeah, I'm done. There's no going back now. So, then spun to OpenAI when they obviously did a deal with Peter and OpenAI. So, since then, the main brain part of what I do, OpenAI, and then I've set up some like localized, where I think, and again, you can do this in the virtual environment, but for me, like I've got Llama like running locally, and it's basically indexing and recursive learning and doing all of that really cool Obsidian style brain work locally on the device. For me, that just took the memory from, if you go back to February, March, the biggest frustration was, well, are you there? Like that was like,
are you on?
Yeah.
That was our opening line to each other for about 3 months. Are you there?
Yeah, are you there? Every time we say, are you there? And I'd be like, actually, no. I'd love to know how many days I wasted on call it environment stability.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah. Driving in here on the weekend just to push
push the button on the machine. Yeah.
Well, before that, so you've got Mac Mini actually like dropping off Wi-Fi or going to sleep or doing something stupid. So that's like step one. Then you had all of the API connector, OpenAI, Claude's breaking problems. That was kind of like phase 2, I guess, wasn't it? That was painful. Because you just you could see the value. You'd be like, oh my God.
Tantalizingly close.
But you're sitting on the couch at home like,
slot machine.
Oh my
Sometimes
God.
it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh my God, like look at this. And then it'd just go, the API key is, the message that still haunts me. Like you're,
API down.
I'm about 20 minutes from the office. So I'd spend like Friday night, be like 10 o'clock and you'd be like, I can't go my whole weekend like this. So,
honey, I'm just going to get some milk.
Did you need chocolate?
Again.
Did you chocolate biscuits? I'm just going to go get chocolate biscuits from that shop. It's the only one that's open right now. So, into the office. Yeah, so that was a lot of painful. And then getting the memory, like that was probably then, I think, OpenClaw went through like this, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was a point where I was like, I think I'm done with this.
Yeah.
It was just too much
Too much maintenance, too much like hard work.
Yeah, you do all of this work and you come in, you go, I'm going to get started, and you go, yeah, sweet, let's do the meta ads thing. And it goes, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Not again. Yeah.
And then I think Gary Tan, he came out with the G-Brain. Yeah, like what I love about OpenClaw is it was just like this hacking community of and I'd really spent a lot of time in Twitter or X, curating this community of people that were sort of doing a lot of really interesting
things.
Yeah. Sometimes it was hard to navigate between what's slop. They're just trying to, But once you sort of worked out
this, the alpha for me. And I'm old. I call it Twitter, and it'll always be Twitter for me. But there is so much good stuff on there, and broadly, particularly in OpenClaw, but broadly, there's so much good open source. People are like, I built this incredible life-changing skill, and here it is for free. Oh my God.
Yeah, and you had Kapathi releasing this just open source thing, and I'm like, oh man, that looks. Then you just give it to your agent, and it's the Matrix. And it works. And you're like,
right?
This shit is so awesome.
Point your agent. Can we use this? What's good from here? Give that to me.
Yeah. So,
all right, man. So Amelia,
definitely spent a lot of time building out. Yeah. So it's OpenAI, OpenClaw, and I've spent a lot of time in that memory layer, making sure it works. And at least the last month and a half, it is, dare I say, apart from it dropping off the Wi-Fi or something like that, or we had a power outage at the office, it has honestly just worked. And I guess
just clicked.
For a business, all you want is it to work, right?
Dependability. Nobody cares about the model or what it does. You just want it to work.
Yeah, I don't care if it's on OpenClaw or Hermes. I've stuffed around a bit with Hermes.
It dabbled.
It dabbles. I did my toe in. Yeah.
Did you feel guilty? Did you have to?
Yeah, you feel like you're cheating a little bit, don't you?
So Amelia wasn't watching.
Yeah. It's one of those. I mean, you could go you could spend hours picking what's the best one. For me, it's just pick one, right?
I think that, mate, they're all to the point now, and again, broadly speaking, agents, models, whatever, they're all to the point where they're just insanely good.
Yeah.
And you and I as AI nerds can quibble about, well, I like this model for this edge case. But for a business that just wants it to work, there's a plethora of choices out there. Just pick one or two and run with it.
It's funny for me to come in, not funny, painful and funny at the same time, to get, are you there? And your API goes broken.
We should get a sticker made up with that. Or a t-shirt. We should get t-shirts. Are you there? Amelia, are you there?
You can't have that, you're doing this for another business.
Yeah.
You can't have that, right? That's your number one use case. Totally. It just has to work.
Well, mate, that's the perfect lead in. So now we've got Amelia running Airguides. It sounds like you've got all this time on your hands.
Yeah, so I'm a serial fan. So maybe there's something wrong with me a little bit where my goal was to get 2 days of my week free. Yeah. I did that.
Perfect. So what did you do with those 2
days? And then talking with Zach and Chad, another guy here, it's just there's just this part of you that just can't stop thinking about there's a product
and you just want to share it with everyone because it's so goddamn amazing.
You're like, there's some product in this and there's a lot of stuff happening in the space. So I just sort of started demoing pretty much what we've shown now. Just showing it around to some other like companies in that sort of, sitting around that sort of 2 to 5 million range. Similar in sort of taking the industry out of it, but same as the tourism, like I hate calling them boring businesses, but businesses that actually generate money.
Yeah, real business.
Real businesses.
No shade on the tech companies. This is a real business.
Sometimes in tech, we're our own worst enemy.
Yeah,
we really are. But so real businesses, real employees, real data problems, disjointed, so finding what are those similar to tourism style things and just showing them what they're doing, and without really thinking about this is like, I want to start another company, just sort of showing some other businesses, and
it just happened.
Yeah. And it's like,
tell us about it.
That's what I want. Like,
tell us about the new company.
Yeah. So now also founder of HubMind. So started that with another couple of guys here. So Chad and Rich. So far, it was that, I guess the best way to start a company, isn't it? Like having done a few startups before, it's like, your first time you do it, you get all excited about starting the company, I guess. Whereas now it's like, I was just the
last thing you do.
It's like actually just come up with a product. Does it solve? It's like this really basic stuff, but and show people that. Does it solve their problem? People are willing to pay for it.
Yeah. And how are you offering? Like, what's the offer? Are you training them up? Are they building their own Amelias, or are you managing it?
So basically trying to keep it, I am like obsessive about trying to keep it as a product. Yep. So what we're looking at here is, I guess as simple as setting up that reasoning, what everyone is now calling the company brain or the, whatever you want to call it, context layer. Yeah. So vacuuming as much of that into it. Like what's taken me 7 months with Airguides, compressing it down to a matter of like ideally in a couple of weeks. So I read this great blog, which is basically, build the horizontal and then go vertical. That's, there's so many different ways you can do AI. It's different for every business. Our approach at the moment is like we only speak to CEOs. For me, it's like the model which I think like our product is designed for CEOs. That's it. That's the customer. I don't think.
And what are the kind of use cases that you see? What are people using?
Yeah, it's different. Like,
are they called Amelia or they get different names?
No, everyone gets the name. It's actually a really cool branding thing. Like they get to go through this really cool, like who is your agent? Give them a personality. And you can just give them all these like transcripts of your chat. So we did one for a large concreting company, and he's obviously got what my mum would call a potty mouth. So this agent spins up and I'm like teaching it the brain, like doing all the reasoning, like repeating and it just starts going F this, F that. And I'm like, I can't give client.
I literally just talking to a guy and he had a toggle on his agent that was potty mouth or clean. Yeah.
I was like, so I had to tell this guy, look, this is you, right? We read the transcripts. In your transcript.
You couldn't release that to the general public, but he'd be loving it.
There was 182 F-bombs in your transcripts and 182 of them were yours.
That's so good.
So like working with the CEOs on that layer, and then every business is different, but everything from like estimating.
So and it's operational problems that it's solving. This is not this is not brainstorming. This is not kicking ideas around. This is not copy my email, improve my email. This is you have an operational problem. This can be done by an Amelia clone, and then setting it up for them.
Yeah, and it's like it's really interesting when you get into these real businesses. Like their pain points are quite often, and they get like scared. They're scared of AI, right? They know it's there. They know they should be using it. There are industries that aren't.
That's the pain problem that I hear all the time. We know we should be doing something with AI. We don't know how to get started. We're not getting the uplift that other people see. And the value that you can create, it's such a fun space to be in. You go into these companies, the value that you can give to them is insane.
Yeah, you're like, we spend 3 days a week, like getting this document, copying and pasting.
Pulling in different formats. Putting for different sources, punching it out in 3 different formats.
Assuming
like,
they're...
I can make that go away.
Like...
Next week.
With a little bit of like, it's a bit scary when you let them out because they have this they have this unlimited power. Like I'm sure everyone who's played around with agents I made this mistake where I was like, my language just wasn't sharp enough but I was like, can you create this like email sting for these 150 customers? And then I was like, no, I'm not happy with that. Can you change this stuff? And Amelia comes back and goes, oh, I already sent that. And you're like, sweet.
I had my first agent on
just what I wanted to hear.
It was only one client, but it was like, and it had drafted something.
Yeah.
And it said, and down the bottom, it said, if you get me the email address, I'd send it. And I didn't read that. And I was reading through it, said, well, I'll do some work on that, but the email address you can find here. It went and found it and then sent it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy with it. But
you can go, it's your own mistake, but when you're letting it out, so trying to put guardrails around this stuff, it's like this real balancing act because it can just go through your emails and fix all your emails for you. But then you're also, as a client of yours, you're like, look, I'm just gonna.
I mean, it's very hard to go with somebody who's selling careful AI to say, "Oh, sorry, that was a mistake."
Yeah,
I didn't mean for that to happen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna err on the side of caution. So
I'm just gonna eat that.
Yeah. So it's going to like we've got companies across hospitality, engineering, manufacturing, professional services. HubMind.
HubMind.
Yep.
Where can people find it?
Just, email me direct, paul@hubmind.com.au or the website, hubmind.com.au.
Nice. Love it. All right, mate, thank you so much for sharing. I've got a couple of rapid fire questions to finish out the round for you and we'll shoot them up. All right, so mate, this is, I think we've answered a lot of these, but we'll run through it. ChatGPT or Claude?
Now ChatGPT, yeah.
Voice or keyboard?
Ooh, I'm moving towards voice.
Yeah. Nice. App or terminal?
Terminal.
You're abstract.
Yeah. I like
local or cloud.
Local.
Local. Yep. MCP or API?
CLI.
I probably should add CLI in there as well.
API. If I see API, I'm like, we're on.
Go direct. I like that. Yeah. OpenClaw or Hermes?
Yeah, OpenClaw for me.
OpenClaw. Yeah. One agent or Swarm? We kind of answered that as well.
Yeah. One with swarms.
Yeah. And this is the point we're just talking about. Review it or YOLO it?
Yeah, so my own company, Airguides, YOLO it. I want to be at the cutting edge. I just had this is where I've gone in the 7 months. I hope none of my accountants are listening to this, but I just had Amelia fully do our reconciling BAS submitted, and that is using Xero doesn't allow you to get in.
Xero's MCP in it is so bad.
The API is not bad to do your, to get it, but I then just gave Amelia an account. So in terms of no guardrails, I went fully no guardrails. So if I get audited in the next 6 months, we'll be able to go back to this podcast.
Should be able to do that. You had a YOLO.
Yeah, so my own company, full YOLO, client companies, very risk off. Yeah.
Nice. Mate, thank you. A couple of closing out questions. Where do you find your alpha on about AI, and where do you mention Twitter before? Are there other sources? Are you a YouTube guy?
I'm
newsletters?
All Twitter. For me, it's man, it's good. This new company that's spun out of control, and it is all from the Twitter web. I spend a lot of time following, even see Jack this week releases Buzz. Suddenly there's you bookmark that, and then I've got an agent looking at my alpha bookmarks. I've got my bookmark list I reckon I could sell as a SaaS tool.
My Monday mornings are literally, okay, have a look at my Twitter bookmarks from the weekend, and what do we need? What's good from there? Yeah,
and you see Buzz, it's Buzz, isn't it? Yeah, you see that pop up and you're like, bang, that's my week. There's a whole day of my week gone.
I've got that running as a trial.
Have you?
Pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. One last question for people who are looking to get started with AI and don't know how to go about it. What's your advice?
Yeah, I reckon just with guardrails around it, don't be scared. Everyone seems to be just a bit nervous to get Claude is such a cool place to get going, isn't it? You can do all of this. The agent stuff we're talking about, for me, I'm in the open source world. That's because, we're doing it in specific use cases, specific companies. But if I was getting going again, I'd fire up Claude. I'd jump into the co-work space.
Yeah, even
you get the understanding of
these days the ability to plug everything in now, which didn't exist like 6 months ago or even 3 months ago. To be able to do that, to get all that context to your data and pull that all in, it's nuts. It's so easy to get started.
Yeah, it's what, like, if you want to fully, like, I would go either that, or if you wanted to go a bit deeper, I'd probably go Hermes. Like, Nous Research, I know it's got some really cool stuff. Like, if you wanted to really go a bit deeper, I'd probably go Hermes, even though an OpenClaw.
It's a bit easier. There's not that first.
Yeah, you can one click with Nous. I think Nous Research, it's called. Yeah.
Installs. There's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, you can get cracking on that, but just get started, I reckon. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Good place to finish. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for having me.
That's Operator AI for this fortnight. Do me one favor. Send this episode to one operator who needs it. That's how shows like this find their people. I'm Zachary King. See you in a fortnight.